part of the reason why it took me so long to finish school, honestly, was that I had a hard time getting out of bed for extended periods, like a stretch of a few days at any time that it hit really hard. So actually, I was going to say that it was really bad when I was living alone, but that's not true. I actually was doing that while living with people, and probably ruining some pretty good friendships. Not like intentionally, but just as an effect of me kind of shutting down, shutting out these people. But I would just not be able to face the day, and I would stay in bed, and I would stay in bed all day, through the night, through the next day. And if it was bad enough, I wouldn't even, I managed to go to work because I needed to, right? I needed to make money to keep living there. But that was as far as I could go. Beyond that, like, school definitely went to the wayside. I wouldn't show up to class quite often because, I never lived in like an on-campus dorm. It was always off campus, just because of the way of the school that I'd gone to specifically. But then, as I got older, I definitely didn't live in a dorm situation when I changed schools. Anyway, blah, blah, too many details. But it made it hard to go to school because it was a lot more distance to travel in order to get there. And when you're in a mind state where you are unable to even really take care of yourself, and all you want to do is shut down and sleep, of course you're not going to make it to class. So I remember like when I would live with people, I would stay in bed and I would hide away and not. It just seemed like so much work to get up and take a shower and make myself presentable, let alone go and do anything beyond that and interact with people. And so I would I would stay in my room and I would hide from people. Like, I would hide from if my roommates had guests over, even if they were out of town. I remember when my roommates had out of town guests. And so it was like very happening at the house, at the apartment. A lot of people, a lot of really fun people. But I would hide away sometimes and just like, I would time my bathroom breaks, for when they would be out or what have you. So I wouldn't run into anybody. And yeah, that sucks. It was a lot of, but I sort of accept it. Like, I'm not regretful or anything because it happened and I didn't do anything about it in the moment. And then there's no use in wishing I did it differently. But I'm grateful that I had that experience because then I understand. I don't really know how one gets themselves out of that when you are in that mind state. It is impossible. Like, all the logic and all the rationale, like, to get yourself out of that. But if you don't care about anything, you're not going to move. So, I was probably even talking to myself then, like, if you just get up and do this one thing, it'll lead to another thing. But I just didn't want to. But as I've gotten older, and that experience, taught me a lot about myself. And what I've learned is when to recognize when that's coming. I have bouts like that, but it's not as intense and helpless feeling. I feel more empowered to do things about it. One, I recognize when it's going to happen. I allow myself those low energy days, is what I call them now, and yeah, I recognize those low energy days, and by anticipating them, I can kind of avoid letting myself sink in really deep.